day and welcome to the Sport Rep Show. My name is Jesse Jackson Kauraitha and I will be your host for today, unleashing the latest sports news in and beyond Namibian borders. Of course, there is a lot happening this weekend, including the Navahab Gold Mine Half Marathon, the Gold and Silver Cup final of the NRU taking place here at the Hage Geingob Stadium tomorrow. All these events, it is indeed an exciting weekend of sports. And now for the latest on the hit list. Well, today on the hit list, what is it to start with? A bet. Of course, they are important. The Premier League is back. So many European football is back, and obviously Javon Wilson as an expert of JSB and somebody who puts his money where his mouth is there. And of course, he is with Ashwin Berry to discuss the latest bet slips.
It is time for JSB Bet with the Best, and we are joined by the one and only Javon. We call him the football prophet. Wilson, how's it going, brother?
Going well, but not too well.
Not too well.
Profitable last weekend with the predictions over there. Canelo
Yes.
lost, United obviously lost, and
Yes.
they went against the mighty South Africa, the Bokke.
Yes.
The world champions, how can you go against them?
No, I mean, to be fair, looking at the previous week, you know, you'd have had a little bit of hope, but of course, Rassie switched things up with regards to that. Manchester United, what did you have? What was your prediction for last week?
Yeah, look, we actually thought that we could come out of the Etihad with a positive result there. It was not to be. It was a dominant game from City. Disappointing from our side. Couple of half chances there with Buemos, or in the second half, which Donnarumma saved. But yeah, disappointing. It hurts not to come up here to the studio and wear my United shirt. But hopefully, with this weekend, Chelsea at Old Trafford, we can perhaps turn that around.
All right. I mean, of course, it seems right now is a crucial time to turn things around, not just for the club, for the coach. It's getting to that time where the owners start getting itchy, you know, and those words which start with F and end with D start becoming a little more potent in their head. So how crucial is this for Amorim's career? If you guys get a hectic loss against Chelsea, do you think that he's going to be fired?
I think his time is up. I think he'll be sacked Monday morning if you don't get that result, especially, as I said, at home. Chelsea coming off a 3-1 loss against Bayern Munich.
They're going to be
Bavaria.
motivated.
So yeah, perhaps they're wounded.
Yeah.
And also, you know, going to Germany, traveling, that could also like affect the team in terms of fatigue. So hopefully, it's in our favor. We have a whole week off to prepare for that match.
Yes.
So yeah, Amorim needs to come. He needs to select the right players for that match, and we need to collect all 3 points.
All right. And as you know, game of the week is going to be Arsenal versus Manchester City. Something else that might work in Arsenal's favor is Manchester City's Champions League game being so far out in the week, and then they face Arsenal on Sunday, which is adversely what happened to Arsenal last year, where they had a game on Thursday and had to face Manchester City on the Sunday. Of course, Arsenal showing some good depth, which was needed. You don't always want to pull that card, but you want to be able to pull it whenever you know what I mean, whenever you need to. So Martinelli scoring, Trossard scoring, both of them assisting each other. What are your thoughts on the game of the week?
Look, if you look at you guys' depth, as you mentioned there, I think Arsenal have a very stronger side, obviously, this season. And if we put a line through the Man United Manchester derby game, City haven't been that convincing thus far this season. I mean, coming off before the international break, 2 losses against Spurs and Brighton, respectively. You know, there's still a question mark behind them. So I think this is a good test.
Speaking of question marks, all of Liverpool's goals in the last couple of matches the winning goals have come from the 88th minute and above. Is survival a sustainable strategy? Because are they, you know, showcasing the strength we'd expect from the Premier League holders?
I mean, they're the champions, and that's what champions do. They find a way to win, right?
But I mean, does it feel like they're also in a space, maybe because they're still figuring it out, Isaac is still getting into it, but they find a way to win, but you don't always want to have to find a way to win.
I feel, Ashwin, I feel like all Premier League sides have strengthened. I think as we go along season by season, I think the gap is getting smaller in terms of strength. I think because the funds are available for all teams now. So as you mentioned there, they struggled against Burnley. United also before the international break, we took us a 97th minute penalty, same as Liverpool, late penalty to win that match, and that's the newly promoted Burnley. Exactly. So it just shows you how tough and how difficult it is in the Premier League.
All right. Okay, Javon, take us through your slips. I'm excited to see what you have for the weekend.
Yeah, both teams to score, as I said, still early in the season. I don't think the defenses are as strong. So we have the Merseyside derby that's kicking us off this Saturday. Both teams to score.
All right.
I think Everton can definitely score a goal there.
I think so.
Same as United against Chelsea later on that afternoon. I think both teams can score. Both defenses aren't that great. As I said early on, Chelsea conceding 3 goals. United, obviously, we have that lapse in defense most of our games. Arsenal, City, I do feel both are very attacking. Both teams can most certainly score.
I mean, that one might be a bit of question considering how both teams have got excellent goalkeepers. Man City having possibly the best keeper in the world.
Exactly. It's going to be a good test for both goalies. A couple of bankers there, La Liga, Barcelona, Bundesliga, I went for Leipzig, Olympique Lyon, and then there's a game between Marseille and PSG, and I think that'll also be both teams to score. So 19 odds, $50 gives you about 1,000 something, so I think that's decent.
All right, yeah, I think so too. And I mean, this is a reasonable way to go through to it. I do also expect both teams to score between Chelsea and Manchester United. And tell you what, I think Manchester United takes this one. I didn't like what I saw from Chelsea. You know what I mean? Own goal aside, you know. I'm sure they love to they maybe they're a charity club now. They like to donate a goal now and then. But I'm not confident in them, and I think Manchester United might just now have its way back into the race. Maybe not the race for the championship, but at least the race to survive. All right, so that's been JSB Bet with the Best. We hope you took the best advice from the person himself who understands the game in more ways than one. It was a rough week last weekend, but this coming weekend, everything could change.
Now, what we have on the pipeline today is that we recently had Taufik Shafompabi from Navahab Gold Mine speaking about the marathon. Of course, there has been press conferences held, and now the weekend has arrived where the event will take place. But let's take a recap at that interview with Shafompabi, the PRO of Navahab, as well as the mayor of Karibib, who speaks about the event. So Taufik, of course, it is an important weekend for Navahab Gold Mine. It's a half marathon, a big event, the 11th edition, if I'm correct. So just tell us more. How is the vibe? How has the preparations been building towards this event?
Oh, it's been amazing. The excitement is undeniable. Like you said, it's over the 11th year now. Navahab Gold Mine has been sponsoring this marathon. You know, we started off with, you won't believe it, we started off with 45,000, and now we are sponsoring towards this marathon 345,000. So you can really see the impact or the investment that we're making into this event. We also got a lot of sponsors on board. We initially we had 16. Now we have 9. So we've added 9, sorry. So the excitement is there, the vibe is there. The whole world, or rather the whole country, is coming to Karibib this weekend. We also have great performances coming up after the marathon. And also one of the things that we've really added onto this year was to allow people on Friday, this coming Friday, to come into our mine. You know, just to, you know, sometimes you when you hear Navahab Gold Mine or QKR Namibia Navahab Gold Mine, that's our full name, by the way, you wonder, what is a mine? Or what happens at the mine? So now we're giving 30 participants that opportunity to come and tour the mine. And again, then obviously they are there for the marathon. What is also important to announce here is that I would really urge all interested participants to please register by today, because the registrations are obviously closing today. The deadline is tonight, midnight. So that's really just, it's an important takeaway. But we are very excited. We're ready to host the participants. We are just on a roll that we hope, and you know, because of our planning and everything, that everything goes well. But with our sponsors, with the community's help, and with the relevant, especially with the community of Karibib, and even the town council, everybody's on board, everybody's excited, and everybody's just like, when can Saturday come already?
Yes, I know, because I think most of the times we've heard how important this marathon is, especially to the vendors and everyone in the town. But to Navahab itself, I want to find out why this marathon. What was the significance of bringing such an initiative, or sponsoring, getting involved in such an initiative?
Very, very good question, because that obviously determines or underscores why we're doing it. So the marathon, the Navahab Half Marathon, forms part of our social responsibility initiatives. We have about 5 different pillars, and health, or rather sport, is one of them. So truly, that is the essence of why we are the main sponsor. And also, we just advocate, even in the workplace, we advocate for healthy minds and healthy bodies. And we have a wellness program. So not program, and as well as a section. So we obviously are very cognizance of the fact that we want our employees healthy. So how do you do that? You also then align yourself to, when the Ministry of Health of Education came to, you know, to ask for, or to rather request for a sponsorship, we thought, what a great way to collaborate in making a difference in Karibib. You know, the last year's winners, for example, Lavinia and Paulos, they won, and what we did is we took them to PE to participate in that type of marathon, in that marathon day. So again, it's you through this type of initiatives, you make a difference in the community, you empower athletes, and you also build a happy and a healthier workforce.
Happy and a healthy workforce there. Well, in terms of return in investment, would Navahab say that having held this marathon for, the 11th edition, of course I know it's a rhetorical question because that's why you're still there, but anyways, would you say that the mine has actually benefited widely from this?
Absolutely. I think you spoke of equity and how we benefit. I think the first thing is really the brand equity that comes into play here, because every single participant and every person who hears about this marathon links it to our brand. So it's one of those little things that we as PR people do for people to connect with us as a brand and to understand and see what it is that we do. You know, Navahab Gold Mine has been in existence since 1989, right? And the marathon for the 11th year going has been one of our cornerstone initiatives, whereby we promote health, we promote togetherness, we promote relations and all of that. So we want everybody in Namibia and all over to understand what our brand stands for. And that's really the equity that you get out of this investment that you get out of it, where we collaborate with like-minded institutions like ourselves. We make a difference in our community, and even I'm sure even you now, Jesse, you didn't know much about Navahab, but now you're like, oh wow, and like now we're giving $20,000 to the first male and female. Now again, that is an investment on its own. Yes, and not just those two, by the way. It's the 10. So there's 21 kilometers, and then there's 10, and then there's 5. There's a lot of prizes to be won. For the first time now, we are giving people an experience to come and experience our mine. That just talks to who we are as an institution. It talks to who we are as an organization that cares about the community that you're operating in. You know, it makes a difference.
It makes a difference.
Yes. Because like that day, specifically, the whole of Karibib will come out. People from different towns will come out, experience our warm town. People will say, I just drive through. There is no way you're going to drive through after this marathon. You're going to stop and, spend your money and invest and understand, oh, there's a gold mine here making a difference.
All right. In terms of the safety and security aspect, we know it is still a town and there are individuals always trying to be funny. What do you make of that? Security tight? You have made sure that the people will be safe?
No, absolutely, absolutely. Besides just us sourcing for security services, the Namibian police within the Karibib area is also fully aware and they are on board to assist us. Because you cannot say that those type of elements will not be there. But we also, from previous marathons that we've had, security is one of the things that we do not compromise on.
All right. Last but not least, will we see you also in action?
You will see me in action behind the scenes.
Oh.
I will obviously be leading the media team just to ensure that things are that we all know what's happening from today leading to the marathon and also obviously after, like the post-mortem. But you will see me in action with regards to doing what I do best.
Doing what you do best. I understand what you mean, and well, I'm going to leave it right there. Well, we have heard it from the Navajo PRO. Thank you so much for coming through, and we hope for a great event and a successful one as always.
Thank you very much. See you on the finishing line.
All right, see you.
Council as a hosting town have been in partnership with Navahab Gold Mine, ensuring that this race takes place in Karibib annually, and ensuring that the town is prepared in terms of accommodation to cater all the athletes from all corners of Namibia. So we are ready again this year. So come Saturday, I think everything will run smoothly. So currently we are busy with the cleanup of the town, and Friday we'll be having a big cleaning campaign. So where all the community members and also our companies and sponsors, they will be on board, ensuring the town is clean and is able to cater our visitors and those athletes that will take place that day. It's only that the only challenge we have a bit is Karibib is one of the fastest growing town in Namibia, and for now we have projects that are on the ground. If you pass through Karibib to the coast, you will see we have big earth moving machines on the road. So they are busy rehabilitating the Trans-Kalahari road, so that is passing Karibib to Usakos. So I would like to caution the athletes and all the motorists to just have to be on the lookout, so of those that will participate. However, we have a detour road behind the street, behind the main road, whereby I think that's where the athlete will utilize that road to ensure that we accommodate everyone. So let us just be on the lookout, those that will participate that day. So in terms of accommodation, we have quite a number of guest houses and in town. So for those that might be in need, I would like to refer you to the office of the local economic development officer. On the number is 064 55 0016. So if you call on that number, I think you'll be assisted accordingly. So as a town, we are going to welcome everyone, and we would like to see you on Saturday. Thank you very much.
Now the footballers are crying, everyone is crying, the clubs are crying. Everyone wants an answer in terms of what's going to happen for the league to start. Let's just remind you what Cassius Moeti said about all these proceedings and how the procedures are moving. However, still today, nothing has moved. But let's hear from Cassius Moeti for one last time in terms of what he said and promised.
Moeti, NFA and the clubs met this past Saturday, of course, a meeting that was to deliberate on the future. Well, as the Secretary General of the association, I'm sure there is a league director, which is not Ospreys and stuff, currently not available. So I would just like to hear from Mr. Moeti, in terms of this meeting, how did it go and what were some of the decisions made at this point?
I think what must be clear is this was a meeting, what we call the Chairman's Forum of the Namibia Premier League clubs, Namibia Premier Football League clubs, the 16 clubs. And all the chairpersons and representatives of each of the clubs, 2 per club, came to this Chairman's Forum. And the meeting, Chairman's Forum, didn't take place in quite a while. And it was really a meeting that produced good outcomes. The spirit and the discipline and the conduct of the chairpersons in the meeting was really cordial and respectful, and the matters that they have discussed were very serious matters concerning the Namibia Premier Football League and football in general. Remember, this is the top tier league of the country, and this is the league that attracts a lot of media attention and also the attention of our business community sponsors. So this meeting was necessary, and this meeting created a lot of interactions and engagement. This meeting have accommodated 3 new entrants that were promoted from the nationwide first division into the top tier league. But these newcomers are no strangers to the top tier league because they've been there before, probably under the previous NPL, and they were relegated and they have been out of the top tier league for a while and they came back. So they understand the fire in the top tier league. They understand the cost implications in the top tier league. They understand what it takes to remain there. If you are promoted from the nationwide first division, what you as club owner or the executive committee of the club or the supporters of the club and the community where the team is hailing from, what it takes to make sure that the team remains in there. It's not easy, it's very difficult. And I say this from experience. I've been the chairperson of Black Africa, a very successful team. Unfortunately, I don't want to talk about where it is today, but this is really what it means to be in the top tier league. So they have welcomed the 3 new entrants, and they have also, the new ones have also appreciated the current dynamics of the Namibia Premier Football League and appreciated the sentiments of the feeling that the Namibia Premier Football League needs to be independent. Those
Good day, everyone. Time for international sports news, and starting off with soccer news first. It is Champions League football soccer news, and a few games that was played on Thursday. One of the big games was Manchester City that beat Napoli. They beat them by 2-0. That was at home with Erling Haaland also scoring there. And then Barcelona with a good away win for them. They beat Newcastle away from home by 2-1, and it was Marcus Rashford that scored a brace as Newcastle lost their first game on their return to the Champions League. Also, other results, Club Brugge that beat Monaco by 4-1. That was at home. And then Frankfurt beat Galatasaray, and that score was 5-1 in favor of Frankfurt. Going on to Formula One racing news, it is racing again this coming weekend. It will be Azerbaijan Grand Prix that will take place. It's a street race, so very exciting. McLaren still dominating, and they can, with a 1-2, if their racing drivers finish number 1 and 2 this coming weekend on Sunday, they will clinch the Constructors' Championship. There's 8 races to go, so they will clinch it with 7 to go then, so that will be a great achievement. It is also in the individual points table. It is McLaren that comfortably lead. It is at that point is it Oscar Piastri, 324 points, and Lando Norris, 293, so they're leading comfortably. But it's in Constructors' Championship where the focus is. McLaren's got 617 points. They're way ahead with 12 wins. Following them, Ferrari on 280 points at the moment. They haven't had one win this season so far. Mercedes-Benz 260, and then Red Bull on 239. So it will definitely be McLaren winning the Constructors, just a question of when. Closing off today's international sports news, it is rugby news. 2 big semi-finals coming up, the Women's Rugby World Cup. First one on Friday, and that is New Zealand, the Black Ferns. They're the defending champions, and they play against Canada. And that game is going to be played in Bristol, and it is the defending champions, because 4 years ago in New Zealand, it was New Zealand that beat England in the final, 34 points to 31. The other semi-final, it is for the host, the big one. It is England playing at home to France. It's going to be very competitive, also in Bristol, and the 2 teams going through this weekend will play in the final next weekend, and that will be anticipated to be a full house at Twickenham. That will be quite a sight. A possibility it could be England hosting the defending champions New Zealand, but they still need to win the semi-finals or to play for on Friday and Saturday. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day and sport weekend. We talk again international sport on Monday. Goodbye.